Hello, this is Wolf from Tesla Owners US, and we have a louver task to do today. It's my favorite technician again. We exchanged already one louver on left or right side. Now we do the other side, and I want to put that on camera so that you can do it for yourself. And then we do some testing with the center louver and explain you a little bit about what the center louver does compared to the side louvers and so on. All right.
Hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is.
Okay, first steps, remove the front screws from the bumper here and the whole piece. Yeah, 2 clipsies that we have to remove. One here and one on the other side. And that should do it. So easiest thing is then remove the bumper. Take those screws off, and on that side and that side it's attached here on the inside, and then underneath there are a whole bunch of them, and clips as well, and then the whole thing drops. Okay, and the next one, there you have to pull a plug here. It's inside here on the passenger side. This is the plug that operates the fans and lights, probably. You can ask. But in order to drop that, you need to pull that plug. So we have done the thingies out, and soon we can drop it. So now we can pull it off slowly, and then you can set it down. Yes. And here's the plug. You can see it again from here. Okay. So we already did this one, the right one. It's a new one. And now we have to do the left one. And to get to the center louver, it's a little bit more complicated. So that is built in here. So we would have to do much more work. We tried to do something else in order to check the center louver. Okay, next work is to exchange the wings itself, because these ones are the purple wings. They need to be placed in the new one. Actually, there are some screws here on the side. You turn them out, and then you place them with the new ones. Yeah, just they're laying on top of it. Okay, after that we're gonna put them back in. There are actually a few screws up on left, then attached to that. Then we connect the actuator here, or the rotor here, this one, and we should be fine. After this, we are reconnecting the whole system in order to run a test run. So just wanted to see if the flaps are all correctly and working. Okay, let's go in service mode. 5 seconds on the model description. Release, enter service. Yes, enable service. Here we go. It takes a bit. Yes. And then there is the section thermal, where we have to go and actions, and then there's a thermal test. Yes. Ensure the key is authenticated with the vehicle. Ensure the vehicle is in park. Hold the right turn signal in active position and press down the brakes for 8 seconds.
You have the key in your pocket?
It's not in my pocket, in the back there.
Okay.
Counts down the seconds. Okay. Run routine. And run again. Run again. And in progress. Now let's watch. Okay. So the test result said that the shutter of the left radiator, which is on the left side, was not functioning correctly. So that is from the center louver, right?
Yeah.
So when does it come in action, that center louver? So
during passive battery cooling. Passive as in it's not actively attempting to cool the battery. So there's coolant that runs through the radiator.
Okay.
And then those louvers will open to allow the condenser fans to pull air through the radiator. So it's using ambient air to cool. But there is also a coolant chiller that uses the refrigerant from the AC system to actively cool the battery pack. So that's your passive versus active cooling.
Yeah. Okay.
So during passive cooling, which is usually why you'll hear at least fans running when you are supercharging. Sometimes you'll hear the AC compressor. If the AC compressor is going, then it's actively cooling. If it's just fans, like if you're somewhere up north,
it's just fans
50 degrees outside.
because that's enough.
Yeah.
Right, but sometimes the cooling system kicks in as well.
Yeah, if it needs to.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and usually the flaps for the center louver are 50% open, right? About that.
Towards the end of the
cycle
actual thermal test, I think they should be at their 50% position.
Yeah.
So fully closed would be 0%, fully open would be 100%. So they should be near the 50%. But this left side louver is open to 100%.
And we found out that this is true. Actually, the cycle it is not completely closed or completely open. On the other side, it's completely open.
Yep.
Right. So, what would be the worst thing what can happen now? Is that too much cooling or too less cooling?
Well, I mean, in theory, the car, if it has too much cooling, the car can just turn off the radiator.
Yes.
There's a coolant valve that can bypass the radiator.
Okay.
So
okay.
It's there's not really. It's kind of a very redundant system. So there's not really a too much or too little cooling in that instance. It'd just be pulling airflow from the wrong direction. But the AC system doesn't really matter where the airflow actually comes from. So.
And you had one time a case, and that was interesting there, where actually those two actuators were motors there, were swapped, right? So, and the car was not cooling correctly then, right?
Correct. And we took it on a few drives, and the only way that we had to drive it pretty heavy, summertime, and we had to drive it for probably at least 30 minutes before we could actually get it to fault out. So by the time we actually got that to happen and we could actually get a recording of what was happening, we started putting it through thermal tests. And during the initial thermal test, when it operates louvers, I was looking inside at the center louvers and realized that they were moving in the wrong direction. From what they should have been. So everything should open up and then everything should close. And then on that particular vehicle, when the louvers for the condensers were opening up, the radiator shutters were closing.
So what? And then your suggestion was, we just flip them, right?
Yeah, just switch motors.
Switch the motors, and then they got the right polling for that. And unfortunately, it's the same part number.
Same part number.
And you don't know in which polling it has, in which direction it goes,
Correct.
right? So that's the problem there. And that's why I really cannot say, give me an actuator and exchange it, because it might move in the wrong direction. So then I have to trial and error. So that's why I couldn't find the center louver yet. And once I find the center louver, then I get the right. So this has still some time. It's now coming winter. So
well, I mean, even in summertime, if it's stuck in the open position, that would be the best place for it to fail.
Okay, good. And it's in the open position right now.
Yeah, because that way it's not blocking airflow.
Yeah. Okay.
So when
Good.
it's trying to cool, should be okay. The other thing you got to pay attention to when you order center louvers, I don't know what the clean point is. Clean point is a specific VIN number that above this VIN has this part, below this VIN has this part. But the center louvers, at some point, they moved the horns from next to the headlights down to that center louver. So when you look for the part online, a lot of those newer center louvers are going to have two big old holes in them, and you do not have horns to fill those holes.
Oh yes.
Because your horns are still up by the headlights.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So you need to find one that does not have big holes in the back. Because they're also different horns. So
I'm gonna ask for just for fun how much a center louver is for that car with Tesla. Probably get a big price tag, and then we see.
Yeah.
Okay, now time is now to put it back together, right? So that was the only failure. The flap is open, fine, right? So don't worry about it. Okay, let's go a little bit to the diagnostic tour, and is it's flickering a little bit. So basically, sanity bad heater, that's only because the heater cannot activate, because it's not in the right temperature range. But this is the problem. That is the red left shutter, no feedback. This is that where the flaps are open. Yeah. And all of the other ones, these ones, that one is also not a problem, right? This guy here.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what KFC is, but it's a communication timeout. It's for your power steering also, the EPAS.
Yeah. And then here the battery pump is also not a problem, because we don't have the right readings for that, or not the right.
Yeah, probably
not the right software. Older software. Older pumps for the software. Yeah, and actually, we fixed what is important to fix, and let's see how it comes. I'm gonna, just for fun, ask for the price of the center louver from Tesla, and then we find out what it is.
Yeah.
So we have to put it back together. That's it for today. So now we can exit the service mode. It's actually press the finger on here, right? Yeah, exit the service mode here. What was that? Yeah, that way. And then here, exit. Okay, we're fine again. Here we go. We are done. Everything is back together, and this is as good as we can, as I wanted have it repaired.
Yep.
So left and the right louver are okay again.
Yep.
The center louver is completely open. Okay. I get for fun a request from Tesla about how much that plastic piece with those two actuators will cost, but we're gonna find out. Okay, thank you very much first for JJ for the great service. I hope you got everything. If you have any questions, subscribe, ask the questions in the comments, and so on. And sure, thumbs up. Talk to you later. Bye bye.